Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're well. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Kate Arnell. I'm a little croaky today. So about a year and a half ago, I made a video. I think it was called something like my Zero Waste Non-Toxic Personal Care Favourites, and I was sharing with you all of the swaps and changes I'd made to help reduce the amount of waste in my kind of bathroom setup, I guess. It wasn't by any means perfect, but it is definitely a journey, and I've made a lot of changes since making that video. And I've also got a lot more available to me. So about a year and a half ago, it was really hard to find certain things from bulk, whereas London has now got a couple of awesome places where I can go and get things from bulk. So that's kind of helped the transition a lot. I've also done a lot of experimenting to find out what works and what doesn't. And as I'm always saying, the zero waste lifestyle is definitely about trial and error, but it's great when you do find something that absolutely works. You feel like you want to tell the world about it. I had really struggled with things like shampoo bars in the past, and I feel like I've pushed through the pain barrier with those, and so I was like, there's got to be one out there that works. There's just gotta be. And I have definitely found a couple that work a heck of a lot better than the first ones that I tried. Yeah, let's crack on. This is my current zero waste personal care favourites setup. Working title. So let's kick off with my razor. This was one of the first swaps I made when I started out my zero waste journey about 4 years ago, and I love it. It's so good. It has saved us so much money as well, and it looks pretty cool, and it's called a safety razor for a reason. It's actually pretty safe and easy to use. In the 4 years that I've had this, I've probably cut myself like twice, and that was in the very early stages when I was still getting the feel for it. This one is mine, and you just twist off the top and then the blade comes out. And I try to clean it every now and again, but honestly I'm probably a bit crap at remembering. This one is my husband's, and this actually has a slightly different mechanism. So you twist it from the bottom like so, and this raises up. Oh, unintended pun, this raises up. Just dropped the blade. Thankfully it didn't land on my toe. And then the blade just slides on like that. You do have to be a little bit careful, obviously, because it is quite a sharp blade. Just place it back down and then twist that. Let's get that the wrong way around. Twist it and it's secure. So it's really easy to use. A few tips I've learned from using these are to not apply pressure. Because these are a little bit weightier, it means that they kind of do the heavy work and you're just doing the steering with them. Especially to begin with, go real light and take your time. Don't rush it, otherwise you are likely to maybe have a little nick or a cut. Especially around like the ankle area and the knees. Just take your time with it. Now I'm like la 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 all over the place, don't really think about it. I'm probably quite haphazard and I still don't have any cuts. But that's because I've been using this for 4 years, and I kind of, you know, you just use something almost daily and you're just used to it. So I know how much pressure to apply, I know which bits I can go over really quickly. So it just takes practice, like with anything in life. They're pretty much designed to last a lifetime. I mean, the worst case scenario, if something did happen and it did break, I could send it to be recycled in our metal recycling drop-off point. So this is one of the easiest swaps. I love that it saves money as well. I think the razors themselves cost about £20 to £25. You can get a lot of second-hand ones as well, and some beautiful vintage ones, so I definitely recommend looking around if you're interested. Honestly, I bought these new just for ease, but they're pretty much pay for themselves within the first few months because I'm not spending so much money on razor blades. And talking of blades, these are the ones we use. We actually got a box of about, I want to say 100, something like that, about 100 blades. Each little pack of these has got 5 blades inside, and they're all just wrapped in a little piece of paper which can be recycled. I just tend to save them all in a glass jar underneath our kitchen sink. Bathroom sink, not kitchen sink, bathroom sink. And then when I've got enough, I just take them down to the metal recycling depot as well. They also come in this little recyclable cardboard box. So for body wash, whenever I get in the shower, which is most days, you'll be pleased to hear, I just use a regular bar of soap, a regular bar of soap instead of, how much champagne did I have last night? Ooh, the washing machine's getting real excited right now. Let's let it have its moment. Let's creak on, shall we? So for body wash, one of the first changes I made was very simple. I just switched to a regular bar of soap. I kind of just buy whatever I can find near me without packaging. I've also started trying a few that I've ordered online. This one is from Mangle and Ringer, I think the brand is called. Yes, Mangle and Ringer. And she makes just 100% coconut oil soaps. So it's saponified coconut oil. And these also work really well for making things like laundry powder and also as a stain remover. So if I've got something white and there's like a collar stain or there's whatever it is, I've spilled food on something, which is highly likely, then I'll just rub this into it before washing and it works really well. So not only does it work as a body wash, it also works really well around the house. And this one is by a brand called Hog and Tallow, and it's actually made using animal fat. I thought it'd be really interesting to try it. Also, I eat organic meat, and if you want to read all about that, I'll link the blog post called My Foodlosophy in the info box below. But please read it before you sort of make too many judgments, because it's my own personal approach. Obviously this won't be for everyone, and there are amazing vegetable oil or plant-based soaps out there as well. So there are options for everyone, but I was just really intrigued to try a tallow soap. So far, I really like it. It's supposed to be excellent for things like psoriasis or eczema or just skin conditions in general. Finding a shower gel refill, if this isn't your vibe, is also another great option. I was just very pleased with a bar of soap. I love how simple it is. I love that I can travel with it, and it was a very easy swap for me. I was really struggling to find a shampoo that was a zero waste alternative, and it was definitely something I was still like figuring out. So now I'm using these two shampoo bars. Honestly, I probably only need one of them, but I was intrigued, so I bought one of each to try. This one is by a brand called, I want to say Lamazuna. I hope I got that right. I'll put it on screen. This one I bought from Bulk Market, which was the bulk shop that opened in London recently, and I was just intrigued. It smells a bit like sherbet. It's really cool. And this is the first shampoo bar that I've ever kind of gone, wow, I get it. It works really well for my hair. And they do different ones for either dry hair, normal hair, oily hair. So you can kind of definitely find one that works better for your hair type. And yeah, I've just been really impressed. The trick with shampoo bars is, and it took me a while to work this out, using an apple cider vinegar rinse. This one is by Meow Tweet, and I think I came across them because Lauren Singer was using them or something, and I was intrigued. My husband's shop now sells Meow Tweet. I think he's one of the only shops in the UK that sells them. I paid full price for this. I didn't get any kind of mates rates or wife rates, etc. I'm going to link it in the info box below, but just so you guys know, it is my husband's shop. I just feel like I need to make you guys aware of that. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've stopped bleaching my hair. I think most people have noticed. This is my completely natural colour. I'm still not sure what colour it is. So the texture of my hair and the products that I need to use on it are very different from when it was bleached, because the colour basically makes it a little bit drier, makes it thicker, and actually meant that I didn't need to wash it as often, which was kind of cool. So my natural hair is ever so slightly, I guess oilier, only slightly, but I'd say it's pretty normal. But I probably do need to wash it slightly more frequently than when I had my hair coloured. As I mentioned in my other video, I also use occasionally a dry shampoo, but hold the phone, it's not a typical dry shampoo. It's basically cornstarch or arrowroot powder. Both work really well as a kind of grease absorber. So I have it in a shaker, like a flour shaker, and sprinkle it through my hair to absorb any excess oils if I'm in a real rush, feeling super lazy. And it's a great way of extending the time between each hair wash. I know some people have recommended using, I think, a bit of cocoa powder in the mix if you've got a lot darker hair and you don't want there to be like a white residue. But even with this ambiguous colour hair, which is definitely a lot darker than it was before, I'm able to get away with just using plain cornstarch or arrowroot powder. I honestly can't remember which one I've chosen or which one's in my shaker, but they both work well. So even though I've found two really awesome shampoo bars, I still find that I need to wash my hair with a liquid shampoo every now and again. I don't know why, it just seems to really get rid of any residue. What I do is email a hair salon fairly close to me that sells a brand of shampoo that I personally really like called Away, and they use a lot of organic and biodynamic ingredients. and they come packaged in a glass bottle. So I kept the glass bottle. The label has since peeled off because I've been using this as a refill for about a year and a bit now. Yeah. So I just email ahead and say, hey, is it okay if I pop in with my glass bottles? Are you okay to refill? And every time they've responded saying, absolutely, come on in, no problems. And the last time I went in, they were just gushing about how awesome it was that I was doing this. And it's such a simple act of just taking in some glass bottles and getting them to refill them with shampoo. But they were really pleased that I was doing it. I was really pleased that I was doing it. It was all round a win-win. So onto the apple cider vinegar rinse. This I buy from bulk. So for a while I could only find an apple cider vinegar in a glass bottle with like a metal lid but had a tiny bit of plastic inside. But since a couple of bulk stores have opened in London, I can now get an apple cider vinegar refill, which is very exciting. What I do is keep a glass jar in the shower, and once I've washed my hair, I then pour in a splosh of this and then add around 3 times the amount of water into that glass jar just from the shower, and pour it over my hair, give it a little bit of a massage in, and then make sure I thoroughly rinse it out, because I'm not really cool with the whole smelling of vinegar vibe, you know? And if I make sure I rinse it properly, then I don't get a vinegar smell. But I like to keep a bottle of this in the shower, and I also have one in my kitchen cupboard, and that one's the one for eating. This is the one for rinsing with. But this has worked really well. I've been really pleased with it. Initially, when I first started on my zero waste journey, I tried out the, what's it called, no poo method, where you basically use bicarbonate of soda to wash your hair and then follow with an apple cider vinegar rinse, and it was just horrendous. Like, it really ruined my hair. And because of that, I thought, oh, it must have been the apple cider vinegar that was bad too. But actually, it was just the bicarbonate of soda. And if I use a good shampoo bar or a good shampoo refill and then follow with a rinse of this stuff, diluted of course, then it works really well for me. Next up is deodorant. As you guys know, I've been using bicarbonate of soda, also known as baking soda, as a deodorant since the beginning of my zero waste journey. Actually, when I first started out, I tried one of the alum stones, the alum crystals, which some people swear by and other people, like myself, don't get. It didn't work for me. I definitely had an interesting body odour smell going on whenever I used it. And I met a girl who, I think she lived in Chile, and she said it worked really well for her when she was in a hot country, but when she came over to the UK, it stopped working. Also, everybody's body is different, so some people's will respond really well to an alum stone, and especially when you're transitioning from using regular deodorant to something a heck of a lot more natural, your body kind of goes into overdrive on the whole sweating front, just for like a month or two, and then it sort of settles down. But I think during that time, the alum stone definitely didn't help me out. It didn't have my back or my underarms. It might work for you, but for me personally, bicarbonate of soda in a powder form, just patting that on after I've had a shower onto my underarms just works really well, and it keeps me odour-free all day. It's probably the best working stuff for me. My husband, on the other hand, as I've said before, has had a bit of a reaction to bicarbonate of soda. It kind of made his underarms quite angry. We've tried different things for him. For a while he was using a bar from Lush, which was fine. Like, you could buy it unpackaged. I think the ingredients in that specific bar were definitely a lot better than a lot of the other Lush products, but generally, I mean, they're doing good things as a company packaging wise. I'm just not really down with a lot of their ingredients, and I think even then it still had a couple of synthetic ingredients in it. Most recently he's been using this. It's a sensitive pit cream by Fat and the Moon, and this has worked really well actually. It's a bicarbonate of soda free alternative. So it's got coconut oil, arrowroot starch, magnesium hydroxide, aka milk of magnesia, beeswax, and then essential oils of basil and vetiver. And I'm pretty sure everything except the milk of magnesia and the beeswax are organic. It smells really nice. I've tried this a few times as well, and it's actually been surprisingly good. I was like, is it going to work that well? There's no bicarbonate of soda in it. It's worked really well, so I've been very impressed with that. Metal lid, glass jar, and a really cool brand with minimal ingredients. So that's been working very well for him. And then because he now stocks Meow Meow Tweet, I was really keen to try this grapefruit baking soda free deodorant stick, and I've been using this for the last couple of weeks just to try it out, and I've been really impressed. I love that it comes in a biodegradable tube. It's just cardboard. I think it even says on here somewhere this package is biodegradable, and you just simply push it up from the bottom and the product comes up, and then I just kind of warm it onto my underarm and then it glides on really easily. Again, the ingredients are really good. The only bit of plastic is on the tamper seal there. Toothbrushes, all right. So this one is my current toothbrush, and it's a wooden toothbrush. I don't think it's bamboo, it's just wood, and it has natural bristles, which I know will freak a lot of people out, but I'm okay with it. And I tried an adult version, an adult size of this, because I'm a grown-up and I thought that's what I should be using, and the bristles for some reason didn't really hold up in my mouth. They went a bit mushy, it just didn't work, so it kind of put me off using a natural bristled toothbrush. But then I decided to try using the kids version, and it works really well. Like, the bristles seem to hold up a lot better. I also think because it's very soft, it's very good for my gums and my teeth, because my dentist keeps saying don't use an electric toothbrush. Apparently I've got delicate gums. And I love that obviously the bristles are biodegradable, and I've actually seen it degrade by putting it in a plant pot over the summer, and I used it to label a herb. I think it was like basil or something, so I wrote basil on there and then just shoved it into the pot, and then when I pulled it out at the end, the bristles had pretty much disappeared, which was kind of cool. So you get a lot of bamboo toothbrushes out there, but the majority, if not all of them, still have plastic bristles. So that brings me to this one, which is my husband's one. Again, it's a bamboo toothbrush and it does have the plastic bristles because he's not really feeling the whole natural bristle vibe, and I think he likes a slightly firmer bristle. So that's what works for him. This is what works for me. Again, it's about finding balance and what works for you. Also, I went to the dentist about I feel like I'm pointing at you. Also, I went to the dentist about 3 or 4 days ago, and she said I was doing a great job of keeping my teeth really clean. Sticking on the topic of teeth, I've mentioned this product before, but I'm going to mention it again because it's relevant to this video and I really like it. It's called Truthpaste, and this is what we both use right now as a toothpaste. Most of the time now I still use bicarbonate of soda. I'm not sure I mentioned this before, but this is basically an Old Spice shaker, and I just keep it in there because it's really handy to shake it out and I can travel with it. So that's what I often use to brush my teeth, and it's worked really well for me. Some people like to mix it with coconut oil and make it into more of a paste texture. You can do that. I tried that for a while. It was fine, but actually I'm quite lazy and I just ended up shaking some of this onto my toothbrush. But my husband really likes something that's a bit kind of mintier and fresher and more of a paste texture. So we found this brand called Truthpaste, and we've both been really impressed. The ingredients are excellent. This one's the peppermint and wintergreen, and I think there's another flavour which is like fennel or something, but I'll link them in the info box below. There's no fluoride, SLS or glycerine. It's 100% natural ingredients, and it does have that wow toothpaste freshness to it. So this is olive oil in a repurposed glass bottle with a pipette. I can't remember what was originally in it. I use this mostly as a moisturiser and for removing makeup. I like that I can find it in bulk and then just transfer it to this. And that's pretty much all I have to say on this. It works really well. I'm also still using this product. It's a lotion. It's certified organic. It's by a brand called La Ava. It comes in a glass bottle. It does have a plastic pump, but this has lasted me almost a year and there's still about that much left. And I use this as a facial moisturiser sometimes if I'm feeling particularly dry, and I use it on my body as well occasionally. Honestly, I don't really enjoy putting lotion on my body. I find it a bit of an uncomfortable experience and I actually prefer oils, but this has been really nice to use, and I really like the scent of it. I also love that it's multi-purpose, so it's designed for your face, hands and body. I know the owner is looking into offering refills, I think once she's more established, and I'll see if she'd be up for me returning it to her and refilling it. That could be an option, because it can't hurt to ask, right? Dental floss. So this you've seen before in a couple of my videos. It's basically a little glass vessel with a metal lid, and it's got a kind of tooth on the top there, and it's a dental floss refill. This is what the refill looks like. I ordered them from Simplastico and they turn up in this bit of paper. I normally get 2 in a pack, I think, and I can just simply insert this anytime I run out. And yeah, it's really easy to use. It's just like using regular dental floss, except this is made from silk, so it will biodegrade, and obviously the container is reusable. I did dig out some silk from my wedding dress the other day. So I remember reading in Bea Johnson's book that she just uses a swatch of fabric, of silk, and pulls out some thread, twists it together and uses that as floss. So I'm going to give that a go with the leftover fabric that I found. Oh, this, I mean, it probably doesn't really need a mention, but I kind of stopped using the organic cotton rounds because they were getting difficult to clean and they kind of got lost in the wash. And I was like, what is the point? Why not just get some flannels, like organic cotton face cloths, which are a lot bigger. I can use them more than once before washing them, and I don't know why, they're just a lot easier to use, I found personally. So in my previous video, the one I filmed about 1.5 years ago, I was struggling to find a zero waste option for sunscreen, and whilst I'm not a huge sunscreen user personally, I'd rather expose myself to a bit of sunshine and then try and stay in the shade so I don't burn, and obviously wear appropriate clothing. I do think in certain environments where it's scorcho, it's good to have some sunscreen. So at the time I was using Badger, which as a company, as a brand, I think they are awesome. The ingredients are amazing. The only downside is that most of their products, especially their sunscreen products, are in plastic packaging, and that's all I could find at the time. But as is pretty much the case in any aspect of a zero waste lifestyle, things are constantly evolving. There are more products becoming available to us that have better packaging or plastic-free packaging. I found this brand called Shade, and it's an all-natural sunscreen. I think it only has 4 ingredients or 5 ingredients. So it has organic unrefined shea butter, organic virgin coconut oil, cosmetic grade non-nano zinc oxide, and then premium pure unrefined beeswax. Those are the 4 ingredients. It comes in a metal tin, and I was really impressed with this stuff. It worked really well for me. I think it does take some getting used to using a natural sunscreen, and depending on the product, some of them leave a bit of a white cast on your skin. This one actually rubbed in pretty well, I think. With natural sunscreens, you do need to apply more regularly, and especially after things like swimming or if you've sweated a lot, it's good to just kind of stay on top of it. It smells incredible, just very kind of coconutty and creamy, and that's kind of what it looks like inside. It's thick and it takes a little bit of working into the skin, but it rubs in really well. It smells divine. Up next, I was really excited to find Epsom salts from bulk, and also lavender essential oil from bulk. So I've basically repurposed this bottle, which used to contain oil of oregano. Bulk Market is where both of these come from. So this has just enhanced my little bath time. It's not a routine, it's not like I have a bath every day, but when I do occasionally have a bath, it's really nice to put both of these in. And finally, it wouldn't be a video about personal care without mentioning my favourite thing in the whole world, the Mooncup. As you guys know, I've spoken a lot about how much I love my menstrual cup. I use this one by Mooncup. There are other very good alternatives out there, so you can get ones by Diva Cup, lunette cup. Organic cup is another one. Basically, it's a silicone cup that you insert and it just works wonders for me personally. I've met so many people who've also tried this and loved it. I know these are widely available in Boots, so it's not like it's difficult to find. It's 20 quid and it'll last about 8 to 10 years, and it's just a really great waste-free alternative to the time of the month. Now, I know this isn't for everyone, and some people don't really like the idea of inserting something. Fair enough, I get it. There are reusable pads out there, which I hear good things about, so you can get them made from organic cotton. But if you want to learn more about the menstrual cup, you're intrigued, then I'll link the video that I did dedicated just to this beautiful little beast here in the info box below. So check that out if you want. So those are my current zero waste personal care products that I use. It's definitely been an evolving process. I've definitely made some steps forward in the hair care department and also sunscreen as well. But then it's great to know that things like my razor, the dental floss, deodorant, etc. are still going strong, and I haven't had to make any changes there really. I've been intrigued to try other products, but essentially I could keep using the same thing. If you've got any zero waste personal care favourites or alternatives that have either worked really well for you or things that you've tried and you're like, that was an epic fail, never do that again, then pop them in the comments. It's always really interesting to find out what has worked for other people and what hasn't. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.